All right, so it is 9:03 and we want to get going.
So we're going to begin. Looking, I got this power. Boom, I can mute all of y'all. All right, so for those of you who don't know us, as we start today, we might go a little more than 10 minutes because there's two of us.
Two of us.
But there'll be plenty of time for you to talk. But we, for those of you who don't know us, and because we found out the other night, not everyone knows everybody. We are
Beauty
and the Quad, and otherwise Danny and Elizabeth Gilroy, and the backstory of us in Optavia is 3.5 years ago, April 17th, 3.5 years ago, I became paralyzed from the chest down. And basically, I have transverse myelitis. I walked into hospital at 6:30, was paralyzed by 12:45 p.m. And I had a virus inside me, and my immune system attacked my spine and crushed it. And C6, C7 is where it wound up, rather than attacking the virus. So that's kind of what happened in a nutshell. But over the course of time, over 2.5 years of that, 2 years of that, we were already up and down in our weight, and we were already a little bit, that time, maybe a little bit bigger. So we just ate and ate and ate, and Elizabeth will talk more about that in our thing. But we went on Optavia in January 2020. We knew we needed to get healthy. Elizabeth lost 92 pounds, and she's done. And I've lost over 71.5 pounds, and I'm still on plan, but I'm a quadriplegic, so it's a little bit different for me. I'm not like most men. I don't lose faster than women, but I lose it. So that's kind of the story of, very, very basic story. And we became coaches last April. We've been coaches for about a year, and there's a reason we did that, and we enjoy that, and things like that. So is that enough for the backstory?
That's enough of the backstory.
All right. So today we want to talk about darkness and light, and how do you see the light in your darkness? And I'll put it to you like this: on Tuesday night, Monica brought up that there's always something. There always seems to be something from our past that out of the blue. It could be from when we were 12 or 7 or 15 or 20, depending on Yoda, whatever it was. It seems like so long ago, and it comes in at these moments, and you're like, why am I thinking of that? That's no good. That's just trouble, right? So I bring that up because it always seems to be that something in our life that wants to cause darkness, that always seems to creep in to stop us from reaching optimal health, to try to get us off program, to try to get us out of this journey that we're on towards health and happiness and wholeness. So I think of that movie, Godfather 3, and Al Pacino is in his kitchen, and he's trying to get out of the crime business. And he just come from a meeting where there's this big shoot 'em up thing, because the crime bosses don't want to let him out because they think he's going to go off on his own and do something. And he says, just when I think I'm out, they pull me back in. So I'm thinking to myself, the darkness is just when I think it's gone, it pulls me back in. So we want to talk about the very thing that people think that we handle well, and we do handle it well because we've tried to find the light in it. But is this the paralysis and being a caregiver in that? So we want to talk about how we find light in that, and how it can try to create darkness for us, and how we deal with that. So I'll let Elizabeth talk about the caregiver aspect.
Right. So I'm an Enneagram 2. So if anybody knows that, that's a helper. I have been like that my whole life. I don't know if it's DNA. I don't know if it's how I was raised. I know my mother is that way, so I feel like, I learned from her. And what that means is, if you are important to me in my life, and many people who I have absolutely no connection to whatsoever, if you need something, or if there is a need, I am the first person to try to raise my hand to fill it, no matter what. And I'm the first person who's like, okay, what can we do here? What can we do? What drive do we need to do? If there was a kid's soccer team needed a soccer mom, I was always the one who raised my hand, always. Team mom, room mother, I'm there. We have 4 kids. I've been room mother for more than one kid at a time. right? Soccer, they need a referee. Heck, we needed a referee at our soccer thing at church. I'll do it. I had no clue, even though my kids have played soccer forever. And it was very evident when I was out there trying to call those little kids soccer. So it wasn't big kid soccer. But everything I do for our kids, for our family, whatever, I mean, I was like, go out of my way. And the reason was, if everybody wasn't happy and satisfied, I felt like I was a failure. I was devastated by it. And it would eat me up one side and down the other. And it would color everything I would do. And the problem is I was so spread, so thin, trying to do everything and be everything for everybody. I was like 5th, 6th, 7th, 10th down the totem pole. And I never took care of myself. I used to laugh all the time and tell people, I don't know why I weigh 200 pounds. I never eat. I hardly eat anything. And what I did eat was crap. But the fact was, is I literally was starving myself because I wasn't taking care of myself. And how could I pour into other people if I didn't take care of myself? And then when Danny got sick, it just kind of went in hyper overdrive. It really did. Because I needed, first it was just keep him alive. Every day was, what can I do today to just keep him alive today? And then and it went from there was, okay, what can I do now to make this not so bad? To make this just not hurt him so bad? And that's honestly not up to me other than making sure his physical needs are met. But that's a hard place to go to. Same thing with the kids. When all this happened, I mean, I did everything I could to make sure that the kids' lives were as normal as possible. And again, I went 10th, 12th, 15th down the totem pole. If they needed something at church that he couldn't do, I was there doing it. Again, 10th, 12th down the totem pole. So the darkness was what gave me the most joy in my life, which is helping other people, was killing me. And I knew it was killing me. And there's this guilt that you have when you're like, I can't do this. And I'm not doing anything well. And you're racked with guilt. You're racked with feelings of insecurity. I can't do it. I'm not good enough. And then you just spiral. And that's the darkness for me.
So that before I continue on, so how do you find the light in all of into taking care of this into becoming over caregiver, right? How do you find the light? How do you balance that?
Well, you have to make some really hard choices, and it's not always easy. And so I had to really make some hard choices, and I had to give myself a lot of grace. And I do that with a lot of positive self-talk and a lot of deep breathing. To be honest, Dr. A talks about it in the Life book in Element 4. He talks about breathing, the power of breathing. And it takes me back to Danny and I were theater majors in college, and I taught theater for a number of years. And one of the exercises I always had the kids do was deep breathing before going on stage. Why would we do this? Because it would center you, because it would relax all of those stressors, all of those fears before you step out on that stage. It allows you to kind of get outside yourself and really do the things and that you need to do, be able to focus. So I kind of went back to those roots and I started doing some of those things. Danny and I have code words now. I say I'm spinning, that because that's what it felt like when I was going in those places that are out of control. It literally felt like I was spinning. Like, not my heart wasn't really racing. It just was this weird feeling of spinning. And so that's kind of our code word now, which is I need a break. I need a minute. I just got to go collect myself. Things are spinning. And I'll just walk away now and take 30 seconds. That's really all it takes to just do some good, slow, rhythmic, deep breathing.
You're gonna do it now?
Right now. Right? That. And it's like taking it in and release in through the nose and out through the mouth. Like when you're exercising, in through the nose, out through the mouth. And just that act of being very intentional about doing that calms all those feelings and allows me to refocus and re-engage. And then I have to give myself grace and realize you know the old adage, if you can't fill empty you can't fill cups from an empty pitcher. I was the empty pitcher. And I really have to now be extremely intentional about filling my own pitcher. And it doesn't have to be like spa days or anything like that. It could be, I just need 10 minutes to go for a walk. I mean, it really could mean that. It could mean I just need 5 minutes to just sit here in the chair and close my eyes and focus and concentrate on what the heck's going on. That could be all it is. It doesn't have to be this big thing. It could be something as simple as that. And I really am very intentional now about recognizing those times and when those dark places start creeping in and that spinning starts creeping in. And I intentionally use some of those strategies and they really work because now I can fill my cup and I can calm that darkness. Sometimes I even have to do the positive self-talk, which literally says, and I've literally done this, get thee behind me. I'm not thinking that right now. No. Literally just say, no, no, out loud. There's power in words. And I say it out loud, you know, and those things work. Those things work for me. You have to find what works for you. But those are my strategies to really calm that darkness and walk my way back into the light. Because what is my light? I love making my family happy, but I can't do it when I'm in a bad emotional place. And I have to recognize that.
So we think sometimes that we've got to see this massive light, right? When we talk about the light, it's really just it requires little things to find the light, right? So I want to talk about just a couple things real quick. One is this. The other night we talked about this ladder. Monica can explain it better. There's what's your bottom, and then what are the rungs, the steps you need to take up to reach the top. So my bottom, I came on and shared for a minute as a client that it was I oftentimes in this chair I get frustrated, like if I'm trying to drink some water and it may fall out of my hand, right, because I can't squeeze it. I get to a place sometimes where I can't do anything is what I say. And the flip side of that is I can say I can do everything, but the fact of the matter is I can't do everything, right? There are a lot of things I can't do. So I have to start thinking about, well, what am I real what is it really about can't and can, or is it what am I trying to accomplish? What do I think that I'm not accomplishing that I'm trying to accomplish? For instance, if I say I can't walk and I really want to walk today and it's trying to pull me into a place of darkness, say, well, what are you trying to accomplish? Are you trying to help somebody? Are you trying to coach somebody? Do you want to go to the grocery store? Okay, you can. You can drive your little wheelchair. You can get in a car. You can drive it yourself because it's modified. I drive. You can go to the grocery store. I don't even need her if I want to. They'll have somebody take care of me if I want to. Go to the grocery store, get what I need, and come back, right? You got to give them your wallet and hope that they take out the right amount of money. But that's not the point. The point is that I can do those things, right? I can go and announce a baseball game at a high school or announce a football game at a high school. It's what are you trying to accomplish? So I try to find the light and not when it comes to what I can't is, well, what are you trying to do right now, right? Are you trying to move this iPad off this desk somewhere? Well, look, I just picked it up, right? It's not that I can't do it. It's that you're just frustrated about it. The darkness is a place of frustration, just different frustrations. So that's one way, and you really look at it a whole different light. You try to flip it. And what are you really trying to accomplish? The other thing is building on Elizabeth, the caregiver thing, because just as a caregiver can bring you to trying to be one, can bring you to a dark place sometimes, being the caregivee sucks sometimes. Just gonna say it. It sucks sometimes because you feel like you're getting in the way. You feel like I mean, that's part of it, right? Like I can't make my feelings. I can't make my lean and green. Well, I can get my bars. They're in my closet back there, and the little shoe holder things. I can push it up out of there, and I can land it on my lap, and I can roll to where the scissors are, and I can pick them up
Oh,
and
y'all.
kind of do it with two hands to open the wrapper. It's a little dangerous, but I can do it, right? But I don't do it because it's really right. But Elizabeth does that. She gets my feelings and she makes the leaning green. Well, that could be a place of look. I know it's frustrating sometimes. I know it's like she's right in the middle of something. I say, look, we're about to be at 3 hours and 1 minute, right? And we all know it's okay, right? Don't freak out about that. Don't freak out. Just eat the feelings, right? But we want to stay kind of close to it, right? Hey, it's 3 hours and 2 minutes. Come on, right? But she's in the middle of something, right? but that wears on you. And you say, well, it's not about you. I know, but it wears on you. So there's other things also as being the caregiver. You're like, really, that just, I don't, this sucks. Unallocated feelings. I can't, I have a indwelling catheter. I have a suprapubic catheter, right? So everybody knows now it's in me. It stays in me. There's a tube that goes down my leg to a bag that's connected down there, right? And no one knows it's there. You wouldn't know it's there unless you looked for it, and sometimes there's the big bulges that got to be emptied, but you got to be looking for it, right? Well, I can do a short tube and wear shorts. No one really knows it's there. But here's the thing: I can't empty it, right? I see what's going on. I can't empty it. I guess I could empty it because I've lost over 71.5 pounds, and I can bend over in my chair and I can flip it up. Except when I flipped it up, I wouldn't be able to hold it like she does, and it would just go all over my sock and shoe, right? But that's what happened. So I can't empty it. Wouldn't be pretty after that, and I wouldn't be able to close it, right? And there'd be this little thing at the bottom of my jeans just rolling along. So I can't do that. That's frustrating, right? That it can become dark. And here, let's be real. So we're real this morning. So you guys know you can be real, okay? Just for a minute, just hang on. If I can't empty number one, I can't empty number two, right? It's going to come out eventually, but we don't do it that like that. We do what's called a bowel program, where Elizabeth takes a magic bullet every other day and puts it, you know where, right at the keister, right? And then Elizabeth has to take it all out. Okay? That's real. That's what we go through. That can become pretty dark when your wife, who loves you very much, is doing that for you. You don't want that to happen. You don't want anybody to have to do that, right? That can come to a place of darkness, right? So how do you find the light in the in the bathroom stuff, right? How do you find the light in someone doing stuff for you all the time because you really can't accomplish that, right? You don't want to go cook it on a stove. I might burn myself, right? How do you find the light? Well, it's not easy all the time, but 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 here it's a simple way of putting yourself in light. I thank God every day, when it becomes dark, that someone loves me enough who is willing to get the crap out of me,
Oh, jeez.
to empty my pee, to cook my fuelings, to take care of me, right? That's where I find the light. I mean, I don't know if I could do that for somebody. I probably could. But
Yes, you
but
could.
but my God, right? So where do you find the light in your darkness? Or how do you quickly get out of that darkness? And I'm not gonna lie to you, every day it comes up. Every day it
Does.
comes up that I can't walk and I gotta choose. Most every day I'm pretty good with it. And I get out and mute. Oh, boom. I get out of it and find some light. Okay. And there's different ways to find light and different things. Trying to read quotes. I read Facebook. I call a client, or I call a coach. There's different kind of things that you can do right in your life. You just have to find how to find your light, right? And here, we come into the terminal, is why we want to find the light, because the life you've been given, now I'm not going to preach, but the life you've been given is not about you. And you go, wait a minute, your wife just said she has to take care of herself. Right. She has to take care of herself to take care of others. That's why she does it. She wants to be better for others, right? We coach this program because we want to serve others. We want to pay it forward. We want to bring them to them. We want to make as many people healthy as possible. This gift of hope, right? We are here to serve others. So it's not about us, our lives. They're not, their life is about others. It's about everybody else, about serving others, about loving others, right? So we have to find our light so we can be the light, right? You cannot be the light in this world or in your community or for as a coach or as a client or for your family or whatever it is in your life. You cannot be a light if you don't daily seek to find the light in your life and get yourself out of your darkness. It keeps pulling you back in just when you think you're out. So, having said all that, we got plenty of time. See, we didn't go too long.
We didn't go too long.
We got plenty of time.
You
We're
can
gonna
sing the song.
yeah, we were talking about this a little bit because we don't write stuff down and all that stuff, and others do, and that's fine. We just I would get lost if I wrote it down because I'd be trying to keep up with what I wrote down. But we did say, it reminds me of, see, it did too. I hate the song. I shouldn't say that about a good little Bible school song. But when we were talking about darkness and light, I kept on thinking, if we're going to talk about being the light in this world, right? All I can think of is that song, and don't start singing it. This little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine.
This little
Shut
light
up.
of mine.
Okay, don't sing.
I'm gonna let it shine.
No more. Okay, so there's a rock version of that I like. I used to play it sometimes, but the regular old song I did anyway. So we're gonna open it up for you to share with us. It can be something that you've overcome, a darkness that you may have overcome, and now how you're using that for betterment. It can be a darkness that keeps pulling you back in, and you might need help this morning. Say, I don't know how to get rid of this thing that keeps pulling me back in. Well, that's why we're here. Let's talk about it. You share about it, things like that. It can be anything else that you choose to talk about, but since we brought it up, let's try to go towards darkness and light, but it can be anything, right? You got anything to add to that?
I was just gonna say, yeah, if you've overcome some darkness, share your strategy. What did you do? Because maybe there's somebody else here who could use that strategy to find that light, to overcome those places, to flip that script, if you will. You can raise your hand or you can just come on off mute.